Buongiorno, everybody. We're here today to make a treat, and it's a very quick and simple one. And as I always say, making dinner brings them to the table, but a little sweet treat keeps them there a little longer. This is fantastic for like a little cookie with your coffee. It's also really good to stick in your ice cream. And it's really small and light, so it doesn't really, matter that it's a sweet. So anyway, they're called Lingue di Gatto, and it's the cat's tongue. They're these very thin, light cookies, and they're just really yummy. So very, very simple. It's only 4 ingredients, and I think you're gonna really like them. So we're gonna start, and it's so easy. It's except for the one item, the sugar, which is, you can actually do it straight across 50 grams of each item. But officially, I'm going to tell you the 4 ingredients right now. 50 grams of butter, 60 grams of powdered sugar, 50 grams of egg whites, and 50 grams of flour. You could probably do 50 all the way across. The thing is this, today I did 2 egg whites, so from 2 eggs, and it came out to 60. So I have a little teeny bit of extra flour here in case I feel like it's a little too wet, so I'm just going to throw them in. But this is how well, I'm going to see what it looks like. So we're going to go do this together. All right, so we're going to start with our 50 grams of butter. If you don't take your butter out soon enough, because you can do this all by hand, it shouldn't be hard. If your butter's really hard, it's going to be harder. But if you take it out early, you're good to go. If you don't take it out that early, cut it up into little teeny pieces, and boom, it gets soft really fast. So that's what I did a while ago, just to show you that. Little tips. So, 50 grams of nice soft butter. You definitely want it to be soft room temperature, because then you can smush it nicely. 60 grams of sugar. Now, you guys know me, I usually like to cut the sugar. So in theory, we probably could just go, like I said, 50 all the way across, cut the 10 grams of sugar out. And I'm going to just leave a little bit there just because. So I'm just going to mix this up. And I'd like to try to blend it a little bit first, because then it's easier to mix with the egg. Because then the egg's going to steal all the powdered sugar and it's not going to get all mixed in. So that's nice. Now we're going to add our, this is 60, so I'm going to see if it works, and I can leave a little drop out. Okay, there's a little drop out. That's a couple of grams. Okay, we're going to mix the egg yolks in here together. You can do this, or at this point you can even, if you want, use your cool flat whisk, because it's a little firmer. Make it all, there we go. Get those eggs beaten in there. Okay, so I think this is pretty nicely mixed. That's there. See if I can smush that one little chunk. There we go. Now that this is nicely mixed, now I'm going to add in my 50 grams of flour. Mix it some more. It's going to make kind of a loose little, lightly loose little batter. Let's see if this came out good, or if I need to add just a gram of flour or not. You really want to make sure there's no lumps, though, when you're done. And yes, of course, you can use a mixer. I really am doing everything I can to work out every opportunity I can. So this is like, so I really should do some left. Ooh, that's kind of, well, that's actually not bad. Okay, smushed in lumps. Okay, it's a right-handed job. I really, really, really want to make sure you got no butter lumps. All right, so now I'm going to take this little teeny bit of batter. It's amazing, this may seem really small to you, but trust me. Okay, so now I have a pastry bag. Ta-da! Big pastry bag, actually. Probably too big, but you know what? It's okay. I have some little ones, but these are easier to fill. So I'm just going to very carefully drop this batter inside the pastry bag. So here's what we're going to do. I have grab a nice baking sheet, and I'm gonna take this out of here. Pull this up. Okay, and I'm just going to very carefully, get that out of the way, make some thin little stripes. I don't know, like probably about 4 inches long. You know, so put that over there, probably 2 cookies worth left. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 cookies on here. I want to talk about recipes. Recipes are meant to be shared. I know so many people have a secret recipe, or it's their secret way to do it. You know what? Share it. Because a recipe is love. It is love on a piece of paper. It is love in voice, giving it out to somebody. If we hold on to the recipes, we lose our traditions if we don't share them. We lose all of our family history if we don't share them. You know, this is where so much of our lives comes together. So it's connected. Food brings us together, and if we don't have the foods and the smells and the sights and the textures and the feel in your mouth that evokes such incredible memories. Don't get so high and mighty with your great recipe that you're not going to share it because, you know, you don't want somebody else to make it and get credit for it. You know what? I guarantee you, number one, most people that make your recipe aren't going to make it like you. Somebody making your recipe that's trying to one-up you, it's not going to taste as good because it's not made with love. So you see, there's always love is an ingredient there's always love that makes a recipe better, okay? So people, you know, don't be so proprietary on your stuff. Don't be so high and mighty about your stuff. Just share it with love and it will be accepted with love. You know what I'm saying? I think we have just so much more to worry about in life. There's, you know, I watch the local groups around, whether it's Facebook or whether it's that Nextdoor app, and just share the love. I see people complaining. I'm like, don't complain. You're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, so don't complain about what you don't like. Just go and do something that's better. You know, it's kind of like when I was coaching soccer. One of the things I learned from my high school coach, Sandy Young, shout out to you because you're awesome. But basically, what she taught me as I watched her coach, she didn't tell us what we were doing wrong. She taught us how to do it better. And you see, that's how I then coached. So it's the same thing on everything you're doing, whether you're passing down recipes and making faces at somebody else's recipe when you could just say, hey, have you ever tried putting some basil in that or whatever? Share an idea without being critical first. Same thing, if you're on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or something else, why you gotta bash? You know, just say, hey, you ever tried this? Or hey, this is how I do it. And maybe the person is gonna say, oh, that sounds like a cool idea, maybe I'll try that. And then I'll, you know, like for me, if somebody sent me a recipe or said something about one of my recipes and said, hey, you know, I'd make the same thing, but I do this. Then I'd be like, cool, maybe I'll try that. And I'll try it and give them credit. If I'm a good person, which I think I am, I try to be. So, you know, it's really, really important, you guys, be positive first. Forget the negative. You know, it's just not worth it to say that crap. You know, mean people suck. Sorry, just got to say it. Oh my goodness. Okay, just a couple minutes. So what's happening in there is they've gotten real flat. And then the edges, the little edges are going to get a little bit brown. They're not there yet. And of course, I did have a little bit of lumpy butter in there. So they're not going to be perfect because they got to be perfectly smooth batter for them to be perfectly, you know, round. They might have little divots in them because the butter melted, but it's okay. They're going to taste good, and that's all that matters. And sometimes when you make something picture perfect, it's beautiful, but it doesn't look homemade. Even if you say it's homemade, somebody might be like, is that really homemade? When it's a little imperfect, there's a lot more perfection in that imperfect. It shows, hi, I'm just a mom. Oh, don't think just is bad though. I'm gonna throw something else out there. Me and all my wisdom today. It's Wisdom Wednesday. What a great idea. I'm gonna start doing that from now on. Wisdom Wednesday. You know what the definition of just is? You see, when we hear somebody go, oh, you're just a mom, believe me, let me tell you something. 20 plus years, no, 30 years, I stayed home as a mom. I did stuff on the side. I coached, high level coach. I, chefed it up, did little catering jobs, all the stuff that I could do from home or from a local nearby place that I did on my schedule. My kids came first. But, you get comments. Oh, you're just a mom? No, not just a mom. And then there's the, oh, must be nice you can stay home. And I'm like, oh, please. You know what a sacrifice this is? It's way easier to leave the house and go to work than it is to stay home with 6 kids all day and run that life. But anyway, not a job I would trade in a heartbeat. No. I wouldn't trade it. Not in a heartbeat, not for the world, whatever. I don't even know what the heck I'm saying. But anyway. So some years ago, some while ago, I forget when it was, for some reason, I felt the need to look up the word just. Don't know why, don't know what possessed me to do it. But the adverb definition of just is exactly what is needed. Just a mom. Yeah, man. So, moms are exactly what is needed. We are the ones that can save the world. Just saying. Oh, yes. Okay, literally about 1 minute. So what I'm going to show you here is really cool. Okay, so check these out. There's that beautiful little golden edge. But watch this is fun. So right now, they're still soft. So I'm going to let's see if I've got one that's somewhat pretty. I'm going to take this, and see how they're soft and they bend? I'm going to put it over the rolling pin. And shape it. I could probably make them a little bit longer. Well, maybe not. This one's good. Okay. So these, almost molded. So I'm going to show you something that you can do. So for example, you've got these cute little molded cookies now. So you can put them together, make a little circle. If you make these longer, you can actually make a full circle. Let's just say that this is a cute little circle like this, okay? I just happen to have another pastry bag full of cannoli cream. But you can take cannoli cream, pastry cream, whipped cream. You put 2 of these together, put a little, let's see if I got just enough here. Should fill up the middle, Put a little piece of, I don't know what, little piece of fruit. So, you take a nice little, I'm adding a cherry. Stick it on top, drizzle this around, put a couple little dots around, and you just made a fancy little dessert. Isn't that adorable? So you can take a couple of these, bend them up, you just set them next to each other, set them inside and make a little circle. Put whatever kind of cream filling you want. You could also just take this and fill it with a little fruit, with a little whipped cream on top. But, look at how cute that is. I mean, really, right? But I'm just gonna, for fun now, I just want to show you. Look at these. Cute little, Oh, love these. Little, dainty, these are the things that you can, now if you make another, say you make some custard or something, you can stick one of these in the side. You know how they have those fancy little, cookies in them with a little bit of chocolate shavings. So see, it's so easy to make something simple to have with your coffee, or take that simple and tweak it just a little bit and you've got what is a fancy little dessert. So, I hope you enjoy this. Bring your family to the table, make dessert, it keeps them there a little longer, have a little more conversation. Oh, I forgot the powdered sugar. Look at that. Fancy! It looks like, right? Of course. I did grow up in a restaurant. I know how to make restaurant stuff, but it's not hard to make restaurant-looking stuff this easy at home. So, I wish you guys a wonderful day. Be good to each other. share your recipes, do good things in the world. Just tell people the positive. Forget the negative thing first. Just like your kids. Don't tell them what they're doing wrong. Just tell them how to do it better. It'll get you a lot further in life and in business and in family and in everything. Okay? So connect with people on the positive. I love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep following me because we're going places. I love you. Ciao.